Have you ever looked at that one couple who seems to have it all figured out? You know the one, still holding hands after years together, finishing each other's sentences, and genuinely enjoying each other's company? What if I told you that their relationship success isn't just luck or chemistry, but something you can actually create for yourself? Today I'm going to reveal the 5 secrets that make relationships not just work, but make them truly extraordinary. And if you stick around until the end, I'll share a bonus with you to help you avoid the biggest relationship pitfalls that most people fall into. This could be the most important relationship advice you'll ever hear. Hey there, I'm Rick Soetebier. As an author and dating coach who's worked with hundreds of singles and interviewed hundreds of happy couples, I've had a front row seat to what makes relationships thrive or dive. I've seen people transform their troubled dating lives into new and healthy relationships with a rock-solid foundation from day one. What I've discovered is that extraordinary relationships aren't just about finding the one. They're about understanding key principles that create lasting connection and happiness. And today I'm going to share the 5 most powerful secrets that make the difference between a mediocre relationship and one that continues to bring you joy for decades. Before we dive in, take a second to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss any of my relationship advice videos. Your future self will thank you. Secret number 1. The 4 cornerstones of all great relationships. What makes a relationship truly complete? In more than a decade of coaching, I've found that exceptional relationships are built on what I call the 4 cornerstones of great relationships. These are the intellectual, spiritual, emotional, and physical connections that, when all present, create a relationship that's virtually unshakable. Let's break these down. The intellectual connection. This is about being able to engage each other's minds. Can you have a stimulating conversation? Do you have respect for each other's thoughts and ideas? Great couples challenge each other and grow intellectually. They share books, discuss current events, debate respectfully, and learn from one another. They can talk about anything and everything. Without this connection, relationships often become stagnant. The spiritual connection. This cornerstone is about shared faith, beliefs, and values regarding the bigger questions in life. I've seen time and again how relationships thrive when partners share similar spiritual foundations. Christian with Christian, Jewish with Jewish, Muslim with Muslim, or even atheist with atheist. When you share this fundamental worldview, you remove a major potential roadblock from your relationship. Think about it. Your spiritual beliefs inform how you view marriage, family, child rearing, holidays, traditions, and even ethical decisions. Couples with different spiritual backgrounds often find themselves navigating complex disagreements about how to raise children, which holidays to celebrate, or what values to prioritize. These aren't small differences. They're foundational. That's not to say that interfaith relationships can't work, but they require significantly more communication, compromise, and respect. Why start your relationship with this built-in challenge if you don't have to? Couples who share spiritual beliefs have a natural alignment on life's biggest questions and can focus their energy on growing together rather than negotiating basic differences. The emotional connection. This cornerstone goes far beyond the initial butterflies and excitement of a new relationship. Let's talk about the reality of emotional connection. It exists in 2 distinct phases that successful couples understand and navigate. First, there's infatuation, that intoxicating chemical cocktail that makes you feel like you're walking on air in the early stages of a relationship. Your brain is literally flooded with dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin. You can't stop thinking about your partner. Everything they do seems perfect. This feels amazing, but here's the truth that many people miss. Infatuation is temporary. It typically lasts between 6 to 24 months. It's not designed to last forever. Biologically, it's meant to bond you long enough to establish a deeper connection. What extraordinary couples understand is that when infatuation naturally fades, the real emotional connection begins. This is where the conscious choice to love takes over. This deeper emotional connection is about feeling safe to be vulnerable with each other. Can you share your fears, hopes, and insecurities? Do you feel understood and accepted? Emotionally connected couples have mastered the art of empathetic listening and validation. They know how to be there for each other during both celebrations and struggles. They understand that love is not just a feeling, but a choice they make every day, especially on the days when they don't feel like really loving. True emotional connection means showing up consistently for your partner even when initial excitement has settled. It's deciding to see the best in them even when they're showing their worst. It's choosing to demonstrate love through actions even when feelings fluctuate. This conscious love is what carries couples through decades together, and it gets stronger with every challenge you overcome together. The physical connection. This cornerstone encompasses three critical dimensions of physical relationship: attraction, affection, and intimacy. Let's start with physical attraction, the initial spark that draws you to someone. While it's often dismissed as superficial, physical attraction is actually an important foundation. It creates the initial interest that opens the door to discovering all the other aspects of a person. The happiest couples report maintaining a level of attraction to their partners even after decades together. But here's what's fascinating. Studies show that as you fall in love with someone's character, personality, and the way they treat you, they actually become more physically attractive to you. Your brain literally begins to perceive them differently. This is why extraordinary couples often report finding their partners more attractive after years together than they did at the beginning. Beyond attraction is physical affection, the day-to-day touches that maintain your bond. This includes holding hands, hugging, cuddling, sitting close on the couch, or a reassuring touch on the shoulder. Physical touch releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone that creates feelings of trust and connection. Couples who maintain regular, non-sexual physical affection, even after years together, report significantly higher relationship satisfaction and emotional security. When it comes to physical intimacy, I've observed something critical in my years of coaching. Couples who postpone sexual intimacy as long as possible, ideally until marriage, often build the strongest relationships. Why? Because postponing intimacy allows you to develop the other cornerstones without the powerful but potentially misleading influence of physical chemistry. It gives you the clarity to truly know your partner's character, values, and compatibility before the powerful bonding that comes with sexual intimacy. Couples who wait report stronger trust, better communication, and greater certainty about their compatibility. They've taken the time to ensure their relationship is built on a complete foundation rather than primarily physical attraction. And once you do share physical intimacy within the commitment of marriage, they often report more fulfilling and meaningful experiences because of the deep trust and emotional connection they've already established. What's crucial to understand is that these three dimensions, attraction, affection, and eventual intimacy, reinforce each other when approached in the right order and timing. Physical connection is most powerful when it's built on the solid foundation of the other cornerstones. When all four of these cornerstones are strong, you create a relationship that's resilient to life's challenges. If one area is weak, that's where problems often begin to show up. Take a moment to reflect which of these cornerstones could use some strengthening in your relationship. Secret number 2. Commonality creates connection. Here's a myth I want to bust right now. Opposites do not attract. At least not for the long term. While a little difference adds spice, research consistently shows that couples with more in common have higher relationship satisfaction and longevity. When you share interests, values, communication styles, and life goals with your partner, you naturally remove many unnecessary relationship hurdles. Think about it. Every major difference between you requires negotiation, compromise, and sometimes conflict. When you start with more common ground, you save that emotional energy for the inevitable challenges that all couples face. I've seen so many couples struggle simply because they're trying to force a connection with someone who's fundamentally different from them. They're constantly translating, explaining, and compromising on basic lifestyle choices. It's exhausting. This doesn't mean that you need to be identical twins. Healthy differences that complement each other are valuable. But the foundation, your core values, how you view the world, what brings you joy, those things should align if you want an extraordinary relationship. When coaching singles, I always emphasize don't just look for chemistry, look for compatibility. Chemistry gets you through the first few months. Compatibility gets you through the decades. Secret number 3, communication that connects rather than corrects. In extraordinary relationships, couples have mastered the art of communication that brings them closer instead of pushing them apart. The difference often comes down to the simple shift. They communicate to understand, not to win. Have you noticed how many couples turn discussions into debates and conversations into competitions? Every disagreement becomes about proving who's right rather than solving the problem together. Exceptional couples approach communication differently. They listen to understand before responding. They ask questions instead of making assumptions. They express needs clearly rather than expecting their partner to read their mind. A technique I teach all of my clients is the 3-to-1 ratio. For every criticism or complaint you express, include at least 3 positive observations or appreciations. This doesn't mean avoiding difficult conversations. It means creating a positive foundation that makes these tough talks possible. Remember, in great relationships, it's never you versus your partner. It's both of you versus the problem. Secret number 4, intentional appreciation. You know what kills more relationships than conflict? Neglect. Taking each other for granted is a slow poison that erodes even the strongest connections. Extraordinary couples practice intentional appreciation. They actively notice and acknowledge the good in each other. They don't just feel grateful, they express it regularly and specifically. Instead of a generic thanks, they say, I really appreciate how you took time to listen to me today when I was stressed about work. It made me feel supported and loved. This might sound simple, but the neurochemical impact is profound. When your partner expresses specific appreciation, your brain releases dopamine, creating a positive emotional state and reinforcing the behavior that was appreciated. It's a beautiful cycle that strengthens your bond. Try this. For the next week, share 3 specific appreciations with your partner each day. Watch how it transforms the emotional climate of your relationship. Secret number 5, growing together intentionally. The final secret of extraordinary couples is that they don't just grow old together, they grow together intentionally. They understand that people naturally change over time and they make conscious efforts to evolve in compatible ways. This looks like regularly discussing future goals and dreams, supporting each other's personal development, creating shared experiences that build new memories, learning new skills together, checking in on how your relationship is working and what might need to be adjusted. Couples who thrive see their relationship as a living thing that needs constant nurturing and occasional reinvention. They're not afraid to outgrow old patterns and create new ones that serve them better. So there you have it, the 5 secrets that make relationships truly extraordinary. Building the 4 cornerstones of connection, focusing on commonality, communicating to connect, practicing intentional appreciation, and growing together intentionally. These principles have helped hundreds of my clients transform their relationships from mediocre to magnificent. As I promised, I have a special bonus for those of you that have stayed until the end. I've created a free guide called The 5 Biggest Dating and Relationship Mistakes and How to Avoid Them. This comprehensive resource will help you identify and overcome the most common pitfalls that sabotage relationships before they even have a chance to become extraordinary. To get your free copy, just click the link in the description below. It's my gift to you for being committed to creating the relationship you deserve. If you found value in today's video, please hit the like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and don't forget to subscribe for more dating wisdom every week. And remember, extraordinary relationships don't happen by accident. They're created through understanding and implementing these powerful principles. I'm Rick Soetebier, and I'll see you in the next video. In the meantime, happy dating.